This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
So I talk a lot about the obsequious nature of Republicans. I talk a lot about the bootlickers in the Republican Party, the sycophants, the lapdogs, just these servile mutts who will bend the knee for Donald Trump, who will defend the indefensible, who will, in one breath, question his cognition, as Nikki Haley has done. And then we know what's to come. She will end up endorsing wholeheartedly Donald Trump, a guy, she says, is not fit because of his mental state, that he is slipping away. Here she is on Face the Nation yesterday, talking about this very thing. I'm going to play this clip. We'll talk about it. And then I got a clip from Ralph Norman. It's insane. He starts talking about Donald Trump's cognitive issues, and Fox News cuts him off to ask some unrelated question about why Nikki Haley's not doing better in the polls. First, Nikki Haley on Face the Nation.
Former President Trump on Friday repeatedly and wrongly said that you were in charge of the January 6th security response at the Capitol, and he said your name 4 times. I want to play this for our viewers.
They never report the crowd on January 6th. You know, Nikki Haley, you know, did you know they destroyed all of the information, all of the evidence, everything, deleted and destroyed all of it, because of lots of things, like Nikki Haley is in charge of security.
It's unclear what he's talking about as being deleted, but you said yesterday hearing this made you question Donald Trump's mental fitness. Is that the first time you questioned his mental fitness?
If you look recently, there have been multiple things. I mean, he claimed that Joe Biden was going to get us into World War II. I'm assuming he meant World War III. He said that he ran against President Obama. He never ran against President Obama. He says that I'm the one that kept security from the Capitol on January 6th. I was nowhere near the Capitol on January 6th. But Margaret, you don't be surprised if you have someone that's 80 in office. Their mental stability is going to continue to decline. That's just human nature. We know that. What I'm saying is, first of all, you're talking about somebody who's only going to be in office 4 years. Secondly, you're talking about someone who continues to, I mean, look, I don't know if he was confused. I don't know what happened, but it should be enough to send us a warning sign that if you look Joe Biden, he's very different than he was 2 years ago. Are we really going to go into a situation where we have wars around the world and we're trying to prevent war, and we're going to have someone who we can or can't be sure that they're going to get confused? It's a real issue. That's not being disrespectful. It's just a fact.
So look, if all of those things are true, and they are, all of those things he said them, calling Nikki Haley Nancy Pelosi over and over and over and over and over, not catching himself. Like, I understand if you confuse someone for, like the other day, I was like, who's that weirdo from New York? And I couldn't remember Elise Stefanik's name. That's something entirely different than if I'm calling Elise Stefanik Lauren Boebert 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times or something and never catching it. That's different. And that's what we're witnessing with Donald Trump. There is a cognitive deficit. He's starting to wither before our eyes. And the only people that say anything about it are people who are running against him or Democrats and opponents of his. But in the case of Nikki Haley, we know that in just a matter of weeks, probably after the South Carolina primary, when she loses there, she's going to drop out. It might even be Tuesday night or Wednesday after New Hampshire. But certainly after South Carolina, she's out of there. And what's going to happen? She's immediately going to endorse Donald Trump. The man you just witnessed her say is unfit because of his brain. He's not capable. And the right-wing media complex, they don't want anybody to be talking about it either, as evidenced by this clip from Ralph Norman, a South Carolina congressman who has endorsed Nikki Haley. He goes and starts talking about it, and Shannon Bream, the straight news person, not an opinion person, she's not Laura Ingraham. I mean, she is Laura Ingraham, but her title is like journalist. He starts talking about it. She's like, oh, no. What about this, though? I'm going to ask a different question. Watch this.
You know, he got her confused yesterday with Nancy Pelosi on the January 6th with the National Guard. And I would say 25 years ago, he wouldn't have made that mistake. But he kept saying Nikki Haley did this, with the National Guard. He was talking about Nancy Pelosi. And that's another example of he wouldn't have made that mistake if he was younger. But
Congressman, let me ask you before you go, why are you one of the only elected officials in South Carolina who's backing her, and why isn't she doing better in the polls there?
Talk about a hard left turn. That's what that was. That was an obvious attempt that someone is likely in her ear saying, hey, abandon ship. Get this train off the tracks. We can't talk about this. We can't have the public understanding that there are Republicans out there who do believe Donald Trump to be cognitively impaired. That is a problem. There's collusion between right-wing media. I mean, this is not news. This is not surprising or shocking or even like some epiphany I'm having. We know this to be the case, but when it's right there in front of your face, so obvious, it's just... ugh, come on, gross. It's no wonder that they had to pay out a $787 million, nearly $1 billion claim for defamation, because they are just tools of the Republican Party, tools of Donald Trump, an implement to be used at his leisure. Gross, Shannon Bream, gross. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know about Donald Trump's cognition, about Nikki Haley eventually bending the knee. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? I'd love your opinion. You can call and leave me a brief voicemail. Please keep them brief. 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. You can follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter and Instagram and Threads and TikTok and Facebook and Blue Sky. Everywhere there's social media, it's likely I'm there, and I'm at Dollemore. And if I do something for you that you appreciate, if I bring you value on a video by video basis, please consider supporting and helping produce this channel and what we do here. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $1.99 a month. You can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. That would be great. Hit the super thanks button. But moreover, the most important thing is make sure you're subscribed. Share this video with someone who would appreciate it or needs to hear it. Those are the most important things. I appreciate you very much. I will see you next time. Until I do, be genuine, not like Nikki Haley, and take care of one another.